I'd like to call this meeting to order, and if everybody would stand for a moment of silence and the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You can come in, Marv.
Okay, we need a motion to deviate.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approve the minutes of the May 10th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Set the next meeting date.
Wednesday is, I guess, July 10th or
Wednesday's
17th?
good, July 10th?
10th is the second one.
This is what I vote on.
Okay.
3 o'clock?
3:30?
Resolutions
3
3 o'clock,
o'clock?
Bert?
3:30.
3:30?
July 10th?
3:15?
3:09.
Aye.
Okay, so we're July 10th, 3:30 p.m. Any public comments?
We got to roll.
We're voting on
Yeah.
it? Okay, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Hey.
Okay. Motion passes.
Well,
Bert made the
they
motion.
did, yeah. That's what he screwed up. Say I seconded it.
Yeah, I don't know why either. Okay, public comments? No public here. Okay, we're trying to get this done in an hour, John.
I don't.
Okay.
You're doing good.
All right, branch 1 says approved carryover for additional hours register in probate. And then I have the new agenda, amended agenda, says carryover for judicial assistant. You got the floor.
Okay. The first one is for registering probate. They put it under branch 1. Did you want a copy of my request? Or did I just verbally tell you that?
I guess we could verbally, unless somebody would like to have it for their records.
Okay. Currently in my office, I have a part-time deputy register in probate who works 25 hours a week. She was with me for about a little over a year and a half, and because of the complexity of the job, she had difficulty learning all the different aspects in the job. Plus, I don't have time to train her properly because of the caseload that we have. So I was requesting 5 additional hours a week to come out of my carryover funds from prior years, to see if that will improve the situation in the office. This position had formerly been always full-time, was cut about last year to 15 hours, I should say 6 years ago, to 15 hours a week. That person lasted 3 months. Now with the 25 hours a week, my deputy is now leaving again for full-time work, so I'm starting over. This job is quite complex. We do multiple caseloads. I monitor all informal probates. I basically do that instead of the judge. Plus, we handle all the juvenile. So we are in the court quite a bit with that. When there's only one person in the office, there is nobody in court. There's nobody in my office when I'm by myself.
Is this 5 additional hours to help train her?
Well,
Or
help
does this make a 30-hour-a-week job?
make it a 30-hour-a-week job.
That doesn't mean that they would receive full-time benefits in that 30 hours?
No.
No, that's 32.
32.
Yeah.
But under Obamacare, when it becomes full-fledged, 30 hours is considered full-time and you got your health insurance.
But they do
But I don't know if they-
are offered health insurance now,
Okay.
even with the 25
Then we're
hours.
good anyway.
I'm hoping that this would give more continuity to have them there for 4 full days, where they can pick up more. A lot of it is you're learning by, right there, by experience. It takes quite a while to learn this position.
Anybody
They're
else?
going with a new.
I'll be starting over again.
With a new employee.
And you figure if you had 30 hours of this other employee, she possibly, or he would have possibly stayed.
I don't know. Part-time jobs, I think, are just a stepping stone to get a full-time. So I'll probably be doing this again in a couple of years.
And you said something about the cost of this would be covered by your carry.
Carryover from prior years. The cost comes to 2,000, well, it was as of July 1st. I doubt if they'll have someone hired by that time. Came to $2,164, and I got over 4,000 in my carryover.
And then what would, starting next year, that would be put into your budget somehow, or how?
I requested that, and Tom has tabled that until the end of December.
Gotta make sure the money's there. Money's not there, I have to wait, let Diane put it into the funding for next year. That's why we did it that way.
But she's good for 2 years now, right? You have 4,000 there right now, and you're
Oh,
gonna
I
use 2
could-
this year, you'd have 2 next year.
I don't think it'll cover 2 years.
Okay.
No, not if you're gonna start in July of this year.
No,
It would,
I'll be a little short.
you'd need, roughly, you'd need 4,000 for 1 full year.
Basically, it would cover the 1 year.
Would cover 1 year.
Okay, what was your question?
And that pretty much was my question, because I know you can't use carryover to fill a position. So I didn't know if, like from the minutes here, is it till the end of 2013 and then the new budget starts?
That would probably
That's
be
what
how
we're
it would
looking at.
have to be worded.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's going to be 5 additional hours per week to the end of 2013 for a cost of $2,165.
You gonna make that motion? Sure. Okay,
Heck, I'll even second
there
it.
you go.
We'll give
We're
them
moving
5
right
more
along
hours.
here.
You gonna call for the vote?
Yes, sir, I am, as soon as Patty's happy with when she's writing down. Okay, all in favor of that resolution or that motion?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Thank you for your time.
And then Judge Hubig was in court, so he wasn't able to come for his request.
Okay.
If you have any questions, I can maybe update you on the situation.
He wants to
No, it's in
His
assistant.
judicial assistant has
Oh.
been on medical leave for the last, I think, month.
Okay, yeah.
And he's been doing all of his own work, scheduling and everything. And he's requesting that in case, he's supposed to come back on Monday, but he's concerned that with his health situation, that there may be times when he's off work again. So he's requesting to be able to use his carryover funds to help him in case there is a time block where his JA is gone from the office.
And who would he use to replace?
I don't know. You would have to, maybe, he's been looking into like a temp agency that might have some clerical work that could come in and help out.
Yeah, working at 2 temp agencies, we have perused the other counties for JAs, nobody would be interested. So, right now, if you want me to name a name, we don't have a name. Not yet. Now Jeff is due back on Monday, and we'll see how his health holds up.
He's just concerned that if he needs surgery or something, there may be a period of time where he'll be without help again.
Do you have any idea what his amount is in his carryover account?
I don't.
And he didn't give me anything to bring down. I know he had over $1,000 in there. not sure what's in it.
Like, the amount that, that JR is looking for is $863. But I was under the understanding it was 8 hours per week for 8 weeks, so I don't know how,
Oh, yeah, I don't know what he required, I just thought it was to fill in.
yeah.
He wasn't quite sure when he did that, when Jeff would come back, but
Yes.
no, Jeff said that he has slips from the doctor that he can come back on Monday.
I would assume that $800 is 1 week's pay.
8 hours per week for 8 weeks. 8 hours
Are
a
they
week
$100
he's
an hour
looking
people?
for.
I don't know.
So it'll be 8 hours for 8 weeks, would be 8 days about,
Mhm.
9 days.
64 hours.
Yeah.
Do you think we should table this until we know?
Well, he might need it. I think really, if you would approve him utilizing up to $863, but I don't know,
In the event he needs it.
yeah.
All right,
That work?
go.
I just did it.
Okay.
So we won't specify how many hours per week, just in the.
Just the
In
8
the
hours.
event he would need it,
Up to 863.
up to 863.
And I did try to call Diane, but she didn't answer. I was gonna see how much he has in there.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
We're moving right along. How about the coroner's monthly report?
Okay. Month of May, 53 calls. And what it was 16 cremations. There was 1 traffic fatality. There was 1 autopsy. And there were 34 calls that I had to go on. And where I was called in and needed.
Go ahead.
That's it, sir.
Good.
I'll make a motion to approve the coroner's report.
Change the 53 to 52.
52.
Oh, you added wrong again.
Yeah.
Or, yeah,
Yeah.
52.
Okay, so we have an amended to 53?
52.
52?
52.
52.
Okay.
Oh, 52.
Yeah.
You can't slip that extra call past us. It ain't working no more. I didn't even pick it up.
I'll make a motion to accept the amended coroner's report.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Hearing none, it passes. Okay, we got, now here comes the lady. Do you know anybody?
Not from the board, no.
Okay. Would you like, we should just introduce ourselves, would that help?
That'd be great, yeah.
Okay. Ken, you want to start?
My name is Ken Capelli. I'm supervisor for District 9, which includes part of the town of Washington and the village of Cecil.
I'm Margaret Klosterman, supervisor from District 15, Village of Bond.
I'm Ron Cooper, supervisor for District 2 in Shawano.
Mike McClellan, District 4, Shadow.
I'm Bert Huntington, District 21, Red Springs, Bartlemy, and Boulder.
Anybody else you know?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
And your name is? 'Cause I.
Oh, Natalie Easterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last name's kind of easy to remember. All right, well, I guess to start off, I submitted a report to you guys, just a couple of bullets. For the most part, I was moving up to speed in the county. The big thing is the Shawano County Fair Plan. I'm working on getting our offsite facility plans up to date. And then I'm working with the city of Shawano to update their emergency operation plan. So it was kind of like a big highlight since I came on board. I'll just know it's my second official week, so.
Yeah.
You want to enlarge a little bit on curious about the Shawano County Fairground plan. What is?
That was started.
What's involved with emergency management there?
Well, that was started by my predecessor, Andy Muse. Apparently it came out of a racing incident last year where they had a delay of a race that resulted in some unhappy people. So they wanted a plan in place so that way if they had a severe weather event, where to tell people to evacuate, the messaging that would be used, and how it would all be coordinated. So the county is working with the Fair Board to kind of get that in place along with fire and EMS to make sure we got the document in place.
Okay.
So the crowd was getting unruly, is that what you're
Apparently,
saying?
that
Too much beer?
No, race crowd on a Saturday night, really, I can't believe that. I'm shocked, I'm
So
shocked.
when they come in, they didn't want to refund any money. That's why they were.
I have one question for you, and I know I'm out of sequence here, but there's a bill here for $50 paid to WTCH WOWN radio. It says the radio adds severe weather. Do we pay for those warnings on the radio?
I would have to check. When is that bill dated? Do you have the date?
5/13.
I know that, and this was all before I came on board, my predecessor had done some outreach through the radio and newspaper. It could be an outreach bill. We don't pay through like a weather, an emergency alert.
Okay.
My guess is that's
Something
public
over and
outreach.
above.
Yeah, but again, that was before me.
Okay.
I was wondering if that was during that
Tornado
National
Awareness
Tornado
Week.
Awareness Week that they had.
That's, given the timeline, that would be my guess, but I'd have to look at the bill myself.
So how are you finding Shawano County?
I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it's, although those tornado watches when I first came up here, I thought I should have stayed with the hurricanes at that point. No, but it's been good. Everyone's been, really helpful, very friendly. And I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm excited.
Glad to have you.
Thank you.
You guys, any other questions of the lady?
And we'll see how, what our outlook is in a month from now.
Yeah.
Well, we have a lot of old trees in Shawano. Lots of old trees.
Dead trees
Must,
are just old.
must not be hit with very many
See,
tornadoes.
that's fine by me. That's, you know what? I'm good with that. At least for the first year until I really get going. That's all I ask.
And that bill, actually the bill date was back in April 30th, and I agree, it was probably had to do with the tornado awareness week.
I was just concerned if we put out a
Yeah,
warning.
yeah, we wouldn't get billed for that.
Okay. Are you gonna handle this ECRA grant also?
Yes, so we got, this was a grant application that was submitted, I have to check the exact date before I came on board. It was brought before this committee, and we got approved for funding. I believe it was just under $10,000, $9,559. So we're just looking for final approval so I can move forward and start making purchases. This is for upgrades to the mobile command vehicle. Let's see, and some hazmat equipment is the primary purchase. So I'm just looking for, final approval so I can start making purchases on this money. That's got to be spent by October.
Will this affect your KIP?
No, this is separate from that and everything, if we get this approved. Actually, the GPSs that were ordered are for the mobile command vehicle and the EM car, just small GPS units for mapping. And then the monitors are for the computers and stuff that we received. We got 5 laptops from Stockbridge that we're actually upgrading. That's the hard drive expansions 4 on there. And 3 of those will be used in the mobile command vehicle eventually. The other 2 will be used for other things that detectives are working with, I believe. The laser printer is for printing out maps so that they have mapping capability and can print maps on location for the mobile command vehicle. And then some of the other items are for color printer and roller track mouse for the EM office. I believe there's other hazmat stuff on there, colorimeter, tubes, and a few other things that are not related to the mobile command vehicle, but for hazmat.
So I'd like to make a motion to allow her to spend the money.
Also move.
We have assured that
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
the grant is assured.
Yep, the grant was awarded, so we just need final approval from you guys.
And we just have to approve getting the grant. Is that
So
what
you
you're saying?
Spend the money.
Spending it.
Then we can go ahead and order the equipment.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I should have. I should have. If we don't get it approved, then the committee gets all the money, don't they?
I know the fine print says the administrative coordinator gets it.
I'll retract my second.
Okay, you're wasting time here.
Call for the vote.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Just to go back up, I hate acronyms, but I have no idea what EPCRA
Oh,
means.
that's correct. It's the Emergency Preparedness.
Wait a minute, don't go so fast.
Sorry.
I'm gonna write this.
Emergency Preparedness Community Right to Know Act. So that has
Community
Right.
right.
to know. So that has to do with, example, Aerocast, the chemicals that they have on site, the plans for that. It's just kind of all encompassing, so it needs to have the right to know. So EPCRA, you see that a lot.
What does the P stand for?
Emergency Preparedness.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Jeff, I guess then you're up.
Okay. We're moving along on the simulcast project, obviously a little bit behind schedule. We had weather issues getting antennas and stuff up and all that. We passed all that already, all the civil work's done at all the tower sites. Antennas are up, transmission lines, all that stuff. We got all the equipment already delivered and on site and powered up, and right now they're, as we speak, upgrading a couple of pieces of equipment for the phase 2, the fire EMS equipment. When it was shipped with all the programming as if it was a standalone system, and obviously the IP addresses for communicating over the network conflicted with the earlier phase 1 stuff. So Motorola's aware of that, and they have guys out here, a couple of techs out here right now upgrading those. They have all the sites communicating with each other right now, so we're getting very close, but they're still checking a few things before they can do their optimization. So we're hoping to have everything online and communicating totally this week, and with any luck, have 3 out of the 4 channels up and running next week to try and start doing our tile testing and everything, hopefully the end of next week or start right after that. So we're getting very, very close, obviously, with a few delays and stuff, but we're getting very close.
So by the end of June, you should have them.
Yeah, and we'll have everything up by the end of June, and we want to make sure that AFG grant requirements are all met. So Natalie and I are working on that to make sure that everything's up to date on the grant, to make sure that we have all the paperwork and everything all in on time and everything. So we get our 10% match on the AFG portion of the project.
Firemen gonna be happy,
I believe they will be when they get done, and if they're not, we'll make sure they're happy.
and they got radios now that they can actually talk on this system.
Yes, yeah. And I believe all the departments are updated as far as the fire EMS channels to make sure that they have the proper programming in there.
It'll make our October very happy.
Make me happier if my cell phone would get out over in Pella. Especially that Pella's terrible.
Pella's terrible.
Don't have any coverage except from along 29. They must have something around the area.
Pella's terrible.
Okay.
Right there, when you go over that hill by Stanky's milk trucks.
Yep.
Right all the way down, all the way down, it's bad.
And you gotta get through Pella and closer to
Yeah,
way out with.
yeah. And in this corner out here by Thornton on 29 too. Right by Thornton on 29 where she bends tways the corner bends to the left. Right there, a lot of times you'll be on the phone and turn that corner, oof, your call's gone.
And this is probably the worst time of the year for coverage too, because of the moisture in the air. and-
Pine trees too.
Yeah, sap in the trees, the leaves, everything's wooded around here. Yeah, it cuts your range down a little bit.
That stuff can go through buildings like it go through the water.
Something to do with pine trees, man. Don't worry. Oh, I'm sorry.
We're marching on here. I have one other question. Back you gave me this list then of what we bought back in '07. And in '07, and Kathy's got the numbers, she's gonna do a little research, and I assume. There was a resolution for this monies back in '07 for $600,000. And they put an addition in here that says, any purchasing of equipment shall have at least a 10-year life expectancy. Okay? Now, I have a list here that you gave me. Can you tell me if we are going to replace any of this stuff with the new KIP program?
The voting equipment will be replaced by the simulcast equipment, but the voting equipment will still be reinstalled down at Leopolis as a backup site for the system, just in case there's an issue with any of it.
It's not being thrown out,
It's not
it's
gonna be
just
thrown
being
out.
relocated.
It's gonna be relocated to a different location, so it's
Gotcha.
a standalone site in case anything catastrophic, whatever happened, a tornado came through, took out a tower site or something, that you could still communicate on that equipment.
If the KIP project would not go through, this would still be functional and working and no problem.
It would be functional, yeah. We're noticing now, like you said, with cellular coverage, we're also noticing on that voting system that we're getting some degradation on the voting system also. So, yeah, but it would be in
But
service.
this
And
would
it's
still be working.
Right. That's what's in service right now. It's what we're running on is the voting equipment.
All right. Anybody else have any questions for Jim? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We're into law enforcement for the approval of the out-of-state travel.
Yep. Ann Holcomb is requesting to attend the evidence management workshop in Minneapolis, October 1st and 2nd. Registration is $275 and lodging is $150. The meals are included.
It's not in Wisconsin.
Those are Minneapolis.
So that's why we have to approve it, because it's out of state.
They don't have any classes for this in Wisconsin.
I'll make a motion that we approve for out-of-state travel.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And you're all set. Gotta be careful, we got two different agendas. Am I still in line yet?
Just to make sure.
Gonna sign something?
Yeah.
Oh, I get this guy.
Tom, I'm going to get this hip done, this is it.
Not bad, huh?
Oh, it's terrible.
Go see Brook Island.
Gotta quit visiting those cows all the time.
Today's
I've
the
seen them take
internet.
you down a few times.
One farmer feels sorry for me this morning, he loaded the cows for me.
Hey.
Well, I didn't charge them, right?
Oh,
Go see Brook Island, she'll fix you right up.
yeah, well, I'm at that point down here anymore.
Okay, we're on item 2, is the discussion and possible action concerning resolution regarding modifying the courthouse basement for evidence storage and office space. We have a resolution in front of us, gentlemen. I received it in the mail a couple of days ago. Did everybody receive this resolution? And this is what the, would look like.
Yeah, there it is. I was one of the 4 people who volunteered to kind of get together with Officer Boothville, Tuma, Gordy. Yeah, Ann was there. I don't remember.
Steve Dreyer, that was it from the
Steve
sheriff.
Dreyer. Tom was there.
Ron was there.
Ron was also there, along with Arlen and Sandy Stanky. And I think our first meeting together, we accomplished a lot. We went down and viewed the basement, and they showed us what parts they could use and how they would use them, which led to this map that's been drawn up. And I think it's a good move in the right direction. It's going to increase some space here in the sheriff's department to be used for other things. The detectives, their office was upstairs, right?
There are 3 upstairs.
Yeah, and not a good situation, really.
Not really meant for
Right.
office space.
Right. And I think the more we support this, the better off we're going to be. I think that it's needed. It's a time to move forward, and then when we get this done, that then we can sit down, not quit working on the evidence storage building, but actually do some more talking and investigating what would be best for it.
Yeah, I guess I'd just like to reiterate, at that meeting that we had with the 4 supervisors and at public property the other day, this certainly does not even scratch the surface of solving any evidence storage issues. There's electronic evidence that would be stored if this is approved ultimately through this committee and another committee or whatever. But we have a roughly 40 computers or so right now in this evidence room that would be there. As if you look at the map, the drawing on here, I believe it's like 4 foot by 15 foot, so it's 60 square feet. It's not a lot of real storage, but we're not against it. It's just, we can't piecemeal and try to make a broom closet or a vacated office here into an evidence storage area. That I don't think would be the way to go. Yeah, we can move some personnel around, and like Supervisor Huntington said, if this goes, we can work forward with getting a building up. We're all for that. Trying to get something up. Try to get maybe something a month or 2 down the road where we can do some site prep, get some security fencing up, get our vehicles that are stored out on highway, at least get them moved over maybe this fall or something. We'll see. That's for another day though, I guess.
Yeah, by approving this resolution, it doesn't do anything for anything out there at the Work Release Center.
No. That's down the road.
Yeah. Gentlemen, have any other questions?
And just so it's noted too, is the 4 of us who did meet twice, we met. That was voluntary. We are not charging the county for that unless Ron wants to, but I'm not.
So voluntary.
I would like to,
Tim's got a question.
oh,
Or,
Marv,
I don't really know where to start. First of all, refresh my memory, several months ago, when this resolution came up, or not this resolution, a resolution came up to the county supervisors. And at that time, something was voted down, and then the chairman said that public safety would no longer be part of this, it would only be public property and finance. Now, how did we get involved with this again? Public safety was
we
coming up.
were volunteers that,
No, I'm not talking about your meeting.
that's how we got involved in it.
right, Jerry Erdman called me, and I think that's how it got all started.
I think
This was at the chairman's request.
You're thinking back to when Public Properties was going to be in charge of building the building?
Well, it was something,
But then
public safety
it
was.
would be turned over to Public Safety after it was built and in operation.
Well, yeah, okay, where's that now? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of losing track of where how public safety is all of a sudden now being involved with this when we were taken out of that.
We weren't taken out of it.
They were just gonna oversee the building process.
What's this?
This is the courthouse.
This is different than building.
This is different than the building.
I guess I have the same concerns as Marv, and there is a home committee that oversees the operation of the courthouse, and that is Public Property Committee. We got our hands slapped last time with public safety and public property approving a plan. Finance didn't like that. Now we have a plan come. I have had some conversation with the chairman of the Public Property Committee, and he is very upset. I'll tell you that right now. And I believe if this is going to move forward, it's going to be moving forward with the approval of the Public Property Committee. This, what we see in front of us, this is not a request, I don't believe, John. Is this a request of the Sheriff's Department to make this move to the courthouse?
Well, no, they came to us, or, I talked to Mike and Bert and before, and Ron as well. When we got the meeting together, that was a couple Fridays ago now when we met. We met at noon on a Friday. I think it'll be 2 weeks, probably this Friday ago, so 10 days ago, what have you. I think a year or so ago, Gordy, maybe we did say we would be interested in that space when we knew the nurses were moving out, that we could maybe do something with it. And then it just, it died. I don't know really what action happened, but we were out of the mix though. And then it came back, and we were asked if we could do it, and we said, throw some things around.
Ken, this all started with a phone call from Jerry Erdman.
Yeah, I
As
think
the chairman, he's the one
after
who's
the
the one
last
asking.
county board meeting, which was on Wednesday evening, and because I know, because I was off that following Thursday, Friday, and then the Monday was Memorial Day. When I came back into work on Tuesday, I had a message from Mike to return a call to you. And I think you actually called on Thursday or whatever, and then you told me that Jerry got a hold of you and Bert, and so we made some phone calls and set up that meeting that was requested by the chairman of the board.
I think public property is interested in getting an okay from public safety.
No, they are not.
Well, solid mark.
Well, I think we all know.
Chairman is not. I just don't even know his feelings, but
Don't we have a county board rule where only 2 committees can bring a resolution forward? So someone's gonna be the odd man out. It happens to be right now public property, which, is it right or not right? I don't know. But 2 committees have to bring this forward. We've got public safety, and I think the other one was what, finance? If it was public property and public safety, then finance would be out, and they'd be mad. Or if it was finance and public property, then public safety would be out, and they'd be mad. So it's 2 committees. I don't think anybody was automatically discluded or left out on purpose. We have a county board rule provided by you guys. 2 committees bring things forward. This is what this is. That's how I see it. I don't see it as some grand conspiracy or anything else. I see it as just, I don't want to lecture too much, but it's getting off a dead center. It's doing something at least. You guys must hear from your constituents. I'm not an elected official, and I hear from people every day. No matter where I go, I was at Flamingos a couple Sundays ago. Some woman I don't even know came up and said, "You're Tom Manson." What the hell is going on with that evidence storage center? Hey, whoa, I said, call Butho. But it's just, I'll say it. I'm going to get in trouble. You're becoming a laughingstock in this community. You really are. And it's time to do something. Is this perfect? No. But it's something. My God, it's something. Now, to look at the bigger picture, we're going to have space problems in this courthouse, and it's coming. I'm cramped for space. I haven't complained at all yet, but I'm cramped for space. Planning is crammed for space. We know that information technology is crammed for space. You know, if we can't do anything about an evidence storage, I predict in 2 or 3 years, someone's gonna come knocking at this door saying, we gotta expand that courthouse. We're running out of space. Guys, we've got stuff stored in that courthouse from 1898. What the hell is it still doing in the courthouse?
Right.
So we really gotta do something about this. This is a start. That's all I gotta say. I'll put it back
I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution and also to forward it to finance and to the county board at next county board meeting.
For a second.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No, aye.
2 opposed?
Yes.
Okay. Motion carries by majority.
Tom, I agree with your comments. We're the laughing stock because the county board voted down the evidence storage building. That's why we are the laughing stock of the county.
I would argue that point one good, Ken. I will not, you're right. You know, we've had plan on top of plan on top of plan. I've worked in other counties, and this county has a reputation of doing studies and not paying any attention to them. It's time to move along.
Was there a reason why public property was involved in this?
I don't know. No.
I mean, if you look at this, there is no fiscal note. Tony, vote, majority vote, administrator, he has no notes. He is in support of this.
I do have a note that's gonna be in it. The note was given to Lynn, so when it gets to the county board, you'll have my note. If you want me to read it to you, I'll be glad to. I brought it along, but I mean, you'll read it in a couple of weeks.
Ken, you wanna just pass it down to the next time? Well, Mr. Guth, are you the sheriff today?
I am for today.
Do you have any comments that you'd like to make?
The sheriff did provide one comment that he would like me to read here. The sheriff applied for the Badger State Sheriff's Association scholarship to the National Sheriff's Conference, and it was accepted. And he has received $1,000 from Badger Sheriffs to help cover the cost of the conference that he's going to be attending, I believe, next week. That's it. It was approved already, but he just wanted the committee to know that he did get a $1,000 scholarship to help cover the travel or expenses related to that.
And that's for what, for a young man or a lady to scholarship, or what is it?
No, it's for the sheriff. He is a member of Badger State Sheriffs. Apparently, they must have some money in their, kitty to help. They probably have a couple of scholarships, and he was able to be awarded it to. I think there's only a handful of sheriffs in the state that attend national sheriffs. They rotate around different years or whatever.
He did turn the $1,000 back to the county.
Not the town, huh?
Even though he offered to take me shopping, I said, no, give it.
Did you want me to mention that?
I don't care.
Ann Siegel, a receptionist up front, is retiring. Her last day is Friday. And she's been with us since January 3rd of 1994.
Nice lady.
Yep.
How long has she been here, John?
January 3rd of 1994, she started here.
19 years.
We have a chance of being on time. That's all.
Okay, do we have any committee member comments? No comments? I guess we'll move on then to approve the bills and the vouchers. John, who's 503?
Tom Tuma.
Tom Tuma needed a new holster? Did he wear his old one out?
I don't know what
Fast draw
I
stuff.
think he just went to a different
Put on a little weight.
I'll bet you hasn't pulled it out.
Yeah, we got a qualified twice here.
Yeah.
Saw a couple the other day.
I gotta do that to get a chance to look at this.
That was the only question I had.
You got it in there.
I could have swore someplace was paid for something twice.
I saw that same thing, it had to do with the hazmat training.
No,
There
this
two
was-
invoices.
This was for an impounded ATV. I could have swore I saw it on here
There,
twice.
you probably did. There was one, the ATV that
To
was,
Hubert's garage.
yeah.
Was it on here twice?
Oh, I don't know if it was on there
I
twice.
could have swore I saw it twice, but then I went back through my paperwork.
I know there was an,
Couldn't find it.
I believe it was a pretty substantial injury on the ATV, and it was requested that the.
Oh, that was the one where the two people were on it and hit a deer with it.
I don't know if they
Up by
had.
Morgan Siding.
I don't know, without pulling what they hit, how the accident happened, I don't.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was not far from my house.
No, driving out there in the hinterlands there.
No, I know it was up in that neck of the woods, but I don't know if they hit a deer or what exactly happened.
Mike and
This-
Marv,
this
you'll
June.
only be getting paid $35 for this meeting, but you'll get your mileage again, according to Mary Hagan.
2 meetings in one day.
Because you had 2 meetings in one day,
Oh,
so you get paid full for the first one.
Mike never left.
Well, he doesn't get paid, he only has one meeting.
I don't care one way or the other. Thank you.
Okay, Mike's
If
money,
it's
I
signed.
wouldn't mind.
Do you want to give him this one?
Here's the one.
Uh-huh.
I could have sworn it's on there someplace. Swore I saw it. It's not on them.
Ken, I think we're both gonna be on time.
I hope it ain't raining.
Over by you, it might be a little bit, I had south end, it's not supposed to be by me.
It's raining over by you.
What, are you guys going golfing or something, or what?
Over by Leopolis and that, it was raining before. So, yeah, you're gonna get rained out, buddy.
Mr. Sunshine over here, you know?
I make a motion to approve the bills and vouchers.
Is there a second? I'll second that. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Kevin, just a question on information on, I received 3 of these, okay?
Yes.
The one says combined. Are these
Yes.
2 in that combined? Waste paper.
Exactly.
That's how I noticed.
Where
But-
did
I don't, that's how they run, they have to run them that way across the street in order to get the combination, but I send all 3 because I know you guys are interested in ours alone. And then I always figure that if I don't send the court one, I don't know, it's up to you guys. Do you want all 3 or do you just want the
Yes, I want it
combined?
just like it, because we're responsible for it.
Yeah, but it's all in this one.
Well,
Yeah,
we signed that.
I say, well, then why have the other 2?
yeah.
Well, if you want to save her paper, I'm fine with that.
Just the
Just the
combined.
combined one is
Okay.
fine.
Hey, did we have to do anything with this?
Well,
This is for us to-
That's our information for the year.
Gotcha.
Did we have a second? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Been
seconded it.
approved.
Yeah, all in favor, we did all that. We're getting out.
This is the quickest.
No, no way. What did you say? I make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?